Wholeness beautiful beings, welcome to my channel. My name is Naja Rashida Silvertree, and today's topic is change. Guess what? You play a role in someone else's story too. Don't get stuck there. Unfortunately, I was recording and then my camera just shut off. So I'm just gonna roll with it. So here we go. So role playing. So yes, you are part of someone else's story too. You know, I've made previous videos on this regarding role playing, I believe, and how we are the narrator, or we're the storyteller in our story. We are in control of the narrative. You know, we develop narratives and storylines for everyone else. Well, now I'm telling you that you also play a character role and for someone else's story too. And I ask that you be careful and be very aware of getting stuck in that character and that role. When it is time for you to make that transition, when it's time for change, right? And you've made your decision on the whys, the hows, the whats, and you need to let go, or you need to go, you need to move on. Sometimes you'll have people, which I've mentioned before in a previous video, on where they resist the life-death-life cycle, and they get stuck and they become more resistant and more resistant. And usually those who are resistant to change don't like to be alone, right? They need company, right? They need other people around them. And so what they'll do is they'll try to convince you, oh, why are you moving now? Why are you going over there? Why would you take that job and that pays half of what you're making? Why are you doing this? It's going to take more work to do it that way. Blah, 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 blah. They give you a whole list. You have to be solid to your core and know why you're making the best decision and you're breaking out of a storyline that no longer serves you. They are overdue, right? And so sometimes in my personal life, what I've noticed, that people will literally drop off the face of the earth. You call this friend your brother. You call this friend your sister. You call this lover your future husband or future wife, right? Oh, I'll never leave you. Oh, I love you so much. And then boom, you feel that transition, you feel that change, you made that decision, and they're gone. They just fall off, whether gradually or very suddenly. That's what you need to look out for. The ones that stick by you understand the importance of human evolution. In self-empowerment and self-evolution, they understand the need to leave, to release, to let go, to move forward, you know, or to revisit. They understand this, so they're not going to allow a change in your life to jeopardize the connection with you, unless you're being asked and you're being guided to release that connection with them. That's something a little different. But be mindful and be careful. Don't take it personally when people stop talking to you because you're shifting and you're changing. And you openly embrace the life-death-life cycle. We all must go through this, whether we're resisting or in the space of non-resistance. We all have to go through this consistently throughout our lives. You know, and yes, we have a physical death that is it's inevitable. It's something that we can't run away from. It's something that we can't avoid. And that's why we have these little deaths, these ego deaths throughout our life, death, life cycles throughout our entire life, because it's preparing for us, or it's preparing us for that final transition at the end of our life. There's a saying, I don't know who said it, but they said, we must prepare for death during our life, right? Or something along those words. You prepare for death during your life. You focus on doing good and burning karma and ending cycles and ending patterns and behaviors during your lifetime. Not waiting at the end and you're gasping for air and you're saying, oh, I should have forgiven this person. I should have did this. I should have, I would have, should have, could have, would have, should have, could have, should have, you know. Oh no, where's my kids? I have met many of people, many of patients doing this at the very end of their life. Kid you not. There's a seriousness in life, and there's a playfulness in life, and it becomes serious when you resist. Surrounding yourself with people who constantly resist red flags, they resist the unhealthy, toxic patterns in their life, they resist making moves, they resist movement, will affect you if you're not strong enough. If you're not strong enough, because a lot of people, I find that when they're strong, when they're grounded and they're centered and they're established in who they are, they're established in their purpose, they know who they are, they inspire those who resist. They inspire those who resist their true calling. Those who resist their true calling will finally hear the call, or they're just gonna drop off. It's just that simple. I've had people in my life during very large transitional periods, and I don't hear from them again. I don't know if they're alive. I don't know if they're healthy, happy, where they live, if they're even in the same country I'm in. Like, I have no clue. And all I can do is wish them the best and show gratitude and forgiveness in the connection, and release it and let go. It served its purpose. We must develop a certain type of intuition and knowing when to call it. Like, this job has served its purpose. It's time to go. This relationship has served its purpose. It's time to end it. That's, I guess, the scorpionic part of me. I don't know. I'm very good at endings. And I'm learning to be, I'm learning to improve beginnings. Let's just say that. Because to me, they're simultaneous. Beginnings are endings of something, and endings are new beginnings of something. So it's interwoven like that. So, but for most people, they are like, no, I can't make this move because I don't know what's going to happen. Everything will fall apart. Sometimes things need to fall apart. Sometimes you need to be a little broke for a little while. Sometimes you have to start all over. Sometimes you have to give yourself time to heal and take a break and step back and rejuvenate and learn to nurture yourself. At 35 years old, I'm still learning to nurture myself. I don't know what that means. I know what it means to be a nurturer, to be of service for other people. I don't know what it means to be of service to myself. I really don't. I have to redefine that with me. And it's scary. It's scary. It's like, how do I do this? How do I take better care of myself, right? Am I reaching my fullest potential, right? So back to the change. It's almost like I think of a group of friends in high school, or no, better yet, a movie, Good Will Hunting, when Will is working, construction, and I don't know what state they sound like they're in New Jersey or like Boston, maybe somewhere on the East Coast. Okay, it's a profoundly powerful movie to watch. Please watch it, from the 90s, I believe, with Robin Williams. But Will, the character, he's settled in his way of life, right? He's a young man, but he's brilliant. He's very, very smart. He's mathematical. He has a mathematical gift. And the place where he's a janitor, a custodian, they pick up on this. They pick up on it. And he's in resistance, right? He's in resistance of there's resistance in his therapy and counseling he gets. There's resistance from the free ride to this university. There's resistance with new love in his life. Resistance, until he finally breaks. Something in him, that cycle breaks, and he's free to truly embrace all of his highest potentials in his life and what could be. And we don't know, right? We don't know. At the end of the movie, I don't want to ruin it for those of you who haven't seen it, but it's kind of open-ended, but it really, there's an opening of some kind, right? He stopped resisting himself. He stopped resisting And that's something I'm going through right now. It's like, stop resisting what's rightfully yours. Stop resisting it. It's yours here. Take it. Right? So when you're in the space of change, be ready for people to be like, no, no, no. No, no, no. You have to keep playing that role of supportive wife or supportive this, or that friend that comes out drinking with us on every weekend, or you know what I'm saying? Or smoke weed with us every Friday. Like, you have to keep playing out this old ass role that I made you. No. And either they get it together or they fall off. It happens all the time. I have a certain lifestyle where 10, 15 years ago, you know, I wanted to socially fit in, so my lifestyle was very different from what it is now. I live a very quiet life. Very quiet life. Very little drama. On purpose. On purpose. It's intentional. For sure. Not by accident. Not this woe is me, I'm alone, oh my gosh. No, it's purposeful. There's purpose, there's intent behind living my quiet lifestyle, because I know what my life is when it's not like it is right now. And it's very chaotic, right? So again, be aware. Be aware. Don't be rude. Don't be rude to people who are in resistance of your change. Just understand and understand and overstand that they're resisting your change because they've already resisted theirs, and they don't want to be alone, and they want to continue this played out, worn out story over and over and over and over. I mean, the universe is like, oh my gosh. The dangerous thing about resistors, or people who resist, is the universe keeps sending signals, and it gets to the point where it just becomes toxic, like staying in an unhealthy relationship. We've all been there, okay? Right? And it's just toxic. It just turns into a toxic mess. Right? And your higher self, spirit, ancestors, all, like your whole metaphysical crew is just like, okay, we all have to come up with something here to get her out. We need to come up with a plan to get him out. What can we do? Where she can't deny. Or he can't deny. Men and women, all of us, okay? This is not gender specific. This is for everyone, because we've all done it. We've all done it. So, you know, when changes are coming, people are like, wait, no, don't do it. You don't know what you're doing. You're not gonna make enough money. People don't make enough money doing that. And that thing could be exactly what you need to get you exactly where you need to go. That's another thing. People listen, I get it. Because if you produce and you have children, then you have mouths to feed. You have dependents. I understand that. But I've also met people who still, even if they had mouths to feed, they made the shift, they made the change, and their life is much better for it. There was a girl I used to work with years ago in an abusive relationship, to the point where he would drop the kids off while she was working. Kids had nowhere to go, nowhere to be. Luckily, we worked in an environment where their coworkers were on point. Everyone was supportive of her and understanding of her situation. But I kid you not though, she got up out of there. Come hell or high water. She wasn't playing. Up and moved her kids from one state all the way to another. Took her some time. But she stayed disciplined and focused and kept she didn't let her focus waver. She stayed focused on the goal. There was an opening and she took it. She ran with it. She didn't let I was so inspired by her and so proud of her. So it's like when people are like, but my kids, they gotta eat. And I'm like, another woman on my path told me, rise and fly. Don't talk about your plans or when you're about to move or anything like that. Just rise and fly. She would tell me things like, she wouldn't let anybody know she was leaving town. She'd pack in silence, and then boom. Oh yeah, I'm leaving town in like tomorrow noon. What? That minimizes the resistance from people that you care about, that you believe that you're going to get all the support and all this love, and they're just going to be so supportive in what you do. And you know, it minimizes the hurt and disappointment when you realize they don't really support what you're doing. I remember I would pitch certain ideas of my lifestyle, because I've been wanting to like live out of an RV or live differently, you know. And I would get kind of like negative, like, oh, you shouldn't do that. You're a woman. You shouldn't do that. You'd be technically homeless. And I'm like, you're telling me not to do it because you've never done it. You know what I'm saying? People are scared of you doing something that they've never done. Let them worry. Let them doubt. That's their thing. Ooh, excuse me. But when it's time to go and it's time for change, embrace it. Thank you.